I think it's 5 o'clock right now.
5 o'clock. So, guys, welcome to MMA Fight Pass. We're back again.
Welcome.
Episode 92. Me, Tom Owens, and my producer, Archie Tovar. And this is our virtual episode 23, guys, since the coronavirus started and we started doing this online streaming. And we've taken the podcast all around the world now, it seems like, since we started doing this. And so, yeah, we're on virtual 23. And, guys, we got some special guests today coming out of Chicago. We got my friend Daryl here, and we got Dream Killer, Lorenzo Hood. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Daryl Lashawn Hatchett.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing today, man?
Pretty good.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking the time to come and to chat with us a little bit over here in the Central Valley. How's life over there in Chicago?
Hot.
That's always good, man.
It's real hot
Every day
today.
above ground's a good day, bro.
Yeah.
Is it pretty hot? Like, how hot is it over there?
It's been pretty hot lately, man. Today I think it's probably about 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going down a little bit now, but man, earlier today, bro.
Yeah, earlier today it was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Guys, the show, we're all about just getting in contact with different MMA enthusiasts around the world. And not just MMA, but jiu-jitsu and grappling, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, all of it. But we noticed that you guys are pretty deep into the MMA scene over there. And we don't get to hear too much about about Chicago over here.
Yeah.
You know, what we see on the internet.
Yeah, not a lot of people. I think like Chicago's an underrated market. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how we roll in Chicago. But I think
Dream Killer, you want to tell us a little bit about how you guys roll and how MMA happens out there in Chicago, and enlighten us out here.
Oh man. First of all, MMA in Chicago is pretty brutal, man, because usually you have a lot of cross training going on between the heavyweight pro boxers and the heavyweight MMA fighters, because there's not that very many heavyweights in general in Chicago. So boxing sparring and MMA sparring can get pretty hectic sometimes, pretty quick. So you lose a lot of brain cells pretty fast. So one thing I can say about Chicago MMA fighters is you're definitely going to get tough guys. They're going to be tough. They're not going to be scared to stand and bang. They're not going to be scared to, standing there and exchange with you. And it's a different breed, man. Like, we're different. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm a different breed. I don't know, of heavyweight. And I feel like there's a lot of other heavyweights out here in Chicago that are in the same boat as me.
Nice.
That's sick. Now, Daryl, you're over there in Chicago too, but you told me that you do a lot of going back and forth in between Florida and Chicago. Daryl, can you talk a little bit about how that works? Like, now, are you born and raised in Chicago?
Yes. Born and raised.
Born and raised in Chicago. And what's the deal with going? You were telling us a little bit earlier about having to travel back and forth for some of the shows in Florida. Is there a bigger scene in Florida?
Much bigger. Much bigger. Well, that's where I started off as far as my training and stuff. I went down there, opened up a gym and whatever. My gym got real huge. Started getting a lot of popularity. A lot of people wanted to work with me. I started creating champions after champions, So it's pretty good for me. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to spread a little bit. I come back to my hometown, want to do a lot, of stuff down this way. Then eventually make it my way up to where you guys at.
Heck yeah.
Oh, it's big over here, man. It's growing like crazy. Have you ever been to California, either one of you guys?
I fought in the Pan Am games out there in California.
Oh, in jiu-jitsu?
Pancratium.
Oh, wow. Pancratium. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, California. If you could envision California, you got up north with Frisco, San Francisco, and then you got down with Los Angeles. We're like directly in the middle in the Central Valley. It's where like Gladiator Challenge and King of the Cage and a big show that one show that made us real big here was the WEC, the World.
Right. I remember.
And I believe you guys, isn't Shoney Carter from Chicago?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my teammate, my old teammate.
Oh wow. Yeah, Shoney is actually we're friends with Shoney. I fought on a card with Shoney over here at the WEC, and I kind of got to know him. Super cool guy right there. Hell of a cool dude right there.
Amazing dude.
That's a stand-up dude.
He used to come down to my gym, and we used to do a lot of sparring for our kickboxing go. And he kept on saying, "Man, you should be a cage fighter. You should be a cage fighter." He didn't know that's what I wanted to be anyway. And you know, he kept on coasting me up to his gym or whatever, and you know, it was over
Man,
from that point.
you guys ever see Shoney anymore?
Yeah, I talk to him a lot. You know,
Tell him
when
that
I don't
Tom
see him,
Owen
I'm
said
talking to
hello.
him.
Yeah, he did a seminar at my
Okay.
school a couple times. Super knowledgeable, man. He seemed like he had a little bit of something in each
Oh
department.
yeah, oh yeah, and he won't waste time telling it either.
Yeah,
So
there you
yeah.
go.
Right
Hey,
about
now,
that.
Daryl, Archie, you put a little highlight on my deal. Was that of Daryl? One of those highlight reels you showed me? Did you
No,
fight before Daryl when you were younger?
Yeah, I did a lot of kickboxing. I did a lot of. It started off with point karate. I was one of the best in the nation at one point as a brown belt. I got my black belt age 17, so I did a lot of point karate. But I wasn't really, you know, I wanted to do full contact, you know. So I ended up from that point getting into kickboxing and thinking that okay, since I'm so good in this, I'm gonna go out there and kill everybody. It was different, you know, the whole different way of training and all that, you know. Matter of fact, I got
Everything
my ass
changes.
kicked a few times before, you know, I really actually got good. So,
What style of karate was it? Like Shotokan or Goju-Ryu?
Goju-Ryu,
Oh, that all
and
right.
actually it was a blend, you know, because I've not did I learned Northern Crane style as well. My trainer at that time was Barry Smith. He's from Hawaii, actually. He was like a 7th degree black belt. Um, and Curtis Jones, he's from Chicago. Um, so I worked with them since I was little. And because Curtis was one of the sheriff, I ended up training a lot of sheriffs that was Cook County sheriff from out of Chicago as well. And that's when I was young. That was before I was even 18. You know.
Karate's where a lot of us get our starts.
Yeah. At first, at one point, even though I was good at it, I wasn't. I like kickboxing better. I wanted to really hurt somebody. You know, karate they don't allow you to do that. You know.
Oh, you got to just
So
touch and go.
right. But it did teach you a lot of discipline. Actually, it teaches you how to use your power. You know, and even the point that teach you how to be your accuracy and punching. You know, it helps a lot.
And the correct form, definitely. Now,
Definitely.
Lorenzo, you growing up over there, uh, how old were you, man? Like, did it start like fighting in school, or a lot of people before they get into martial arts? Most of the fighters that I've interviewed, in fact, a lot of them share the same story where they were either getting bullied or picked on, or they were getting in a lot of fights, like in school or on the street. And then one thing led to another, and they ended up in a gym. How did it start for you, and how old were you when you started training?
Oh man. So I was a former pro football player, you know. So it was a little bit different for me. I ended up getting a major injury, broke a fibula, tibia, and femur, and that kind of sat me down. My homies at the time, my buddies. Now I had always been street fighting and stuff like that. I always was, it's kind of something I did all the time. But when I got hurt, I was rehabbing, and my buddies were doing this stuff that they call mixed martial arts. At the time, I had boxed. I had golden gloves as an amateur and stuff like that. But I ended up going football was the route I wanted to go. So when I got hurt and I started to rehab and walk and stuff, my buddies told me to come down, check this gym out, get something new. And I was tired of doing the regular basic strength, deadlifts, the workouts we were doing before. And I see they got my age wrong, they got my record wrong. Jeez.
Ah,
We got to send them an email to update this.
Yeah,
you
Daryl,
sure, dog.
if you go on MMA, what's the other one? My goodness, what's the other one they use? MMA.TV, I think, or maybe the other one. It has it right. 14-4 and 29.
Topology get close.
14 first round knockouts, 4 losses, and I'm 29 years old. They always put that shit up there on Sheer Dog. They suck.
Yeah.
But
I got a problem with that with a lot of my fighters.
yeah,
They never get it right.
When I got done, man, I went to go help I was there training with my buddies. I was starting to just kind of like it and stuff, just kind of getting, used to. They were beating the shit out of me. Don't get me wrong. And I was like, what the hell? I can't beat them. They're smaller than me, but I should be beating them. But the theory, when you're a bigger dude, you think that just being more powerful makes you, means you're going to win. But that has absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever, as I found out. So as time went on, I went to go watch my buddies fight in an amateur show, and I'll never forget. It was Valentine's Day Massacre was the name of the show. It was an amateur promotion at the time. And one of the heavyweights on the show that was supposed to fight that night got hurt. and couldn't fight. So what they did was they told me that they had asked my buddy if there was any heavyweights in the area that could fight, if they knew they can get on short notice. And my buddy was like, yeah, one of our buddies are here now. So it came to me and they're like, hey, listen, you know, you're going to fight tonight. I'm like, get the fuck out. Excuse my language. You know, I was like, I'm not fighting. There's no way. Like, I'm not for this. Like, this isn't for me. Well, about 20 minutes later, I was in a pair of Walgreens shorts and a plastic mouthpiece and somebody's used jockstrap. And that was my first amateur fight. And it went about, I was so scared, so nervous. The fight went about 14 seconds. I ended up knocking him out. And that was how my fight career started, man. Just on a whim, basically, just, you know, and, you know, that was kind of like how my career just, you know, that was it. And there's no thinking about it. I just was like, okay, I'm doing it. Let's do it. And
it was the Walmart shorts.
Yeah, I had to use a pair of Walmart shorts and somebody's used jockstrap, man. That was the last time and the first time that.
That says it all, man. The used jockstrap. Oh.
Yeah, sweaty ass jockstrap and some blue Walmart shorts. I still have them.
Maybe you're
As you can see, you made the right choice.
These are some
that highlight that you sent me earlier, Archie, that you're playing right there. It's okay. This is Lorenzo that I was watching earlier.
Yeah.
So are you still in action?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just fought. We just fought in March, bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle.
Talk about your last bare knuckle fight, brother.
Man, it didn't go too long. Not too much to talk about, like most of my fights. But
30 seconds.
Yeah. You know, I knock a lot of people out, man. That's my thing. You know, I'm a kickboxer, man. I'm a Dutch kickboxer, so I fight a little different than most people think I'm gonna fight. And being so big, people always assume I'm gonna fight a certain way, and then they fight a dude who's very athletic and who hits hard and can kickbox and can throw head kicks. You know, being that big, and they're not ready for that, really. You know.
Dutch kickboxing. A lot of people don't know the difference between like Muay Thai and Dutch kickboxing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, so there's a big difference. There's a big misunderstanding in I feel like in the world and amongst, you know, kickboxing and MMA and Muay Thai and what different styles are. You know, everything has a different style. Like Muay Thai is more so focused on elbows and knees and all the points of the body being a weapon, whereas Dutch kickboxing is more of a pressure, fight, and return style. You know, it's more of I'm going to make you pay. If you hit me with a jab, I'm going to hurt you with something right back. But a lot of Dutch kickboxers, the style is more so in your face. You're going to get hit a lot more than Muay Thai, where it's a little bit more defensive for Muay Thai as opposed to Dutch kickboxing is more of a pressure packed. Your pressure is your defense. So you're going to take a lot more punches. But, you know, like that's the way I like to, you know, basically I always say this. You see that entrance right there? I like my entrance to be longer than my fight. That's you know, that's how I roll, man. Not that I'm always looking for a knockout. You know, I'm always looking to just obviously, you know, I get in there, I'm looking to just fight my opponent and obviously fight the fight or the game plan that we have. Like that opponent right there, Jesse Ray Childrey was like an Olympic wrestler, really good wrestler, was undefeated, hadn't lost. Nobody wanted to fight him, and we took the fight on like 5 days notice and said, you know, whatever. And we practiced only that for 5 days, underhooking him, catching that arm, and then elbowing right there. And it was exactly how the fight played out.
Oh shit! You finished him right away. There you go.
Yeah, it was a finish. Like most of my fights are usually under a minute.
How many knockouts do you think you got?
I have 10 amateur knockouts in the first round. I got 14 first round knockouts as a pro.
14 first round knockouts.
Yeah, as a pro, I got 14 first round knockouts.
Daryl, how long have you been rolling with Lorenzo?
For about a year now or so.
About 2 years now.
Yeah, well, a little bit over. Yeah.
I was off hiatus for a while because I was finally healing my body up. I wanted to get my body physically good to go, you know, and before we started fighting again. And then when this year hit, when 2020 hit, I was like, all right, Daryl, I'm ready to go full board. Like, let's fight as much as we can. First fight we had was March, was bare knuckle, and then we were going to fight April 25th for a belt, for an MMA belt, and then we were going to fight again. So the coronavirus kind of put a halt on some of those things, but I've only done one thing, man, which is get better. I've consistently been training. I don't know if some of you guys are looking at either my post or Daryl's post, but my new strength and conditioning coach is fucking crazy. And all I'm doing is pulling trucks, pushing trucks, picking up huge truck tires, slamming truck tires. I mean, my training is super intense, but in a whole another way that I've never trained before. And I'm actually healthy now. My body is completely healthy, so I can do a lot of different things. So that, yeah, there you can see, like I'm pulling. Then there's one that we just did yesterday, where I'm actually pulling the truck and then having to stop it after I get up to 18 miles an hour. It makes me have to stop it, which is the one coming up here.
Holy
So
wow.
you kind of see, yeah, that new one up there. There it is up there. Yeah. So we have to get it. And then once I get it to 18 miles an hour, he tells me, and then I got to stop it. And I got literally 7 steps to stop it.
Now you guys are doing MMA. Do you guys bring in like certain or other coaches into the gym, Daryl? Like, do you bring in like any specific like jujitsu instructors or wrestling coaches?
Well, I'm looking for some good wrestlers for Lorenzo here, but big wrestlers. You know what I mean? So you know he walk around about what 280 or something like that.
Oh
So he's a
Lord,
big guy. So
Yeah,
good Lord.
I'm like 290. Right
290, yeah.
No,
yeah.
no. I was walking around 290. Now we're starting to walk around about 275. You know, I want to stay around 275 because I'm fighting super heavyweight a lot too. Because a lot of these guys are super heavyweight. But when the 265 MMA fight comes from the big show, we want to be ready for it too. And I don't want to have to cut that much weight. So I want to be able to cut down from 275 to 265 in a day or two and be ready to go and still feel like I'm stronger than ever. You know.
Hey, so Dream Killer,
a lot of people are scared of him. It's kind of hard, you know. They don't want nothing to do with it.
I was just curious about your next
That's what I
fight.
was gonna ask.
When was the next
my
fight
next
scheduled
fight
for
is,
you?
Supposed
to be,
to be in September, supposedly against Richard White for MMA heavyweight championship.
Oh, nice.
And then we're going to turn around and fight a couple weeks later for a bare knuckle championship in BYB. So, and then I'm going to fight as much as I can. You know, we want to fight as much as we possibly can. We're looking to fight nonstop. You know, I want to fight every month or two.
Where's the bare knuckle fight going to take place? I mean, or where are both of these fights do you think will take place?
One is in Fort Lauderdale at the Hard Rock, and the other one is going to be the other one is where's the Contender Show at? What part? It's in Florida. It's another one in Florida. I just don't know what part of Florida it is. I can't think about it right now.
Yeah, so we're back to Florida. I mean, that's the only spot in your guys' area.
Like the only spot that's really open right now.
So Daryl, you got 2 different places to train? You got a spot in Florida where you go to? Daryl's frozen up on us, huh?
Yeah. I mean, me and Daryl, like I'm a South Florida guy. You know, I just came to Chicago not too long ago. A couple years now. So I started with the Black Zillions.
So you were, if we mentioned earlier about athleticism, and we're into right now. We're into the COVID, crisis, but yet, again, folks like us, like you, we're like in the same athletic health and fitness lifestyle, and some of the part of the message is to get the people out there to have them join a club, health and fitness club, be it weightlifting, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, whatever. I mean, get your ass up, and go do something, right?
Take a walk or something.
Yeah, and you have an amazing story. You're an amazing athlete, and can you just share, to the people about, how you first became? What was your first sport that you became? You started doing as an athlete, and then go into your football pro career. Tell us a little bit about that and the position you played and stuff.
Yes. So my first sport ever was rugby. I was a rugby player, and I played inside center. So I learned how to, in rugby, there's not, it's not very many pads. It's pretty intense. So that was the first sport I ever played. From rugby, I went to football and lacrosse. I always was a contact sport guy. I played a little bit of baseball, but there wasn't enough contact in that for me to keep me interested. So I was always rugby, football, and lacrosse. I played defensive end and middle linebacker. And then in college, I played just defensive end. And then in the pros, I played defensive end and defensive tackle. So, I always, but I was always not like a fat heavyweight or just fat guy in general. I was always more of a muscular guy. So my issues always came with having not the short bursts, cardio. Like I can do it all day, 10, 15 seconds. That's easy. What I've finally been able to train my body now for is the long exertion of muscle mass and keeping my mind and body and teaching them and knowing, because I think a lot of the times when you're really big and really muscular, it's just deemed that it's impossible. And for the longest time, and in the beginning of my fight career, I thought it was just impossible for me to have good cardio, because I would train it, and I was like, it's just impossible. I'm never gonna have good cardio. And then I realized that there's actual real science that you have to train your body, what you have to eat, what you have to focus on, what exactly you have to train your heart rate to be in order for your cardio to actually grow and expand. And now I've gone, at this point in time, like just today, I'm doing 20 rounds, 5 minutes, sprawling, punching, kicking, defending, we're not doing sparring rounds, obviously, but we're doing live mitt rounds, Thai pads. And as opposed before, man, I would do like 3 of those and I was done for, and now I'm doing those and I'm getting ready to go to my strength and conditioning right after. So, I finally found I guess it's everyone's body's different, but for myself, the motivation to want to be better, the motivation to want to get myself in the best shape I possibly could be in, and be the best fighter I possibly could be, man. Because what's the point of getting into a cage or a boxing ring if, you're not fully ready to go? It doesn't make sense. The battles, 50% of that battle you're ever going to fight is going to be within your own head, knowing that you missed that one Tuesday because you wanted to sit at home and drink a beer, or it was too hot to go to training that day and you missed it. And that guy didn't miss it. And that could be the difference in you winning that fight or losing that fight. And a lot of times I feel like that mental portion of it, if you train your body fully to the point where no matter what has happened, you've trained for it. That gives you an advantage over the guy that you're fighting against.
There you go. That's dumb.
That's crazy. That's wild. So doing this training, I know a lot of your fights in the beginning of the rounds, a lot of them are quick endings. Have you been forced in any fights to do like a 3-5? No.
Damn.
No, never. I've been fortunate enough. We always have this thing, and it's one of our things. Like, obviously I'm a lefty, so I always say, man, if I land the left, then that's it. It's night. If I land the left, it's over. And again, like, we're not looking for knockouts. If even when you watch my fights, I'm more of a boxer, kickboxer for sure, pressure fighting style. So I'm basically, my whole thing is I'm just trying to put you in a position where you are not comfortable in. And if I can get you to throw something that you don't want to throw, then my return coming from that is usually what's going to hurt you the most. And that's just it's just basics. It's not like I'm doing anything that, I'm not reinventing the wheel. This has been going on for a lifetime, but like the basics are the best. Fastest punches come down the middle. The best defense is to have a good offense. And
that's right.
Keep your head moving. It's really easy. It's just like we're working out, like push-ups, sit-ups, things that have been around forever. There's a reason why they've been around forever. And when it comes to striking, there's a reason why some of the most basic strikes have been around forever. It's because those things are the best. So if you can master those things and learn 20 ways to throw a jab and 20 ways to throw a jab cross and a hook and an uppercut and keep it really basic and simple and put those together, man, you become extremely deadly. When you look at guys like Bruce Lee and the things that they talk about, simplicity eases the mind, but makes the brain makes the body that much better. So what I've done in my training with my coaches, Paul Reinhardt, with Daryl, with all my training and all my partners and everything that we've done is just simplify the entire process of training and combinations of everything that we've done. Just really try to simplify everything.
Has Daryl been in most of in the corner of most of your fights?
Yeah, Daryl.
Or a lot of them since you've known him.
Yeah. It was funny because Daryl had to get used to my fight style because my other coach, Paul Reinhardt, who's like a father to me, he would always tell Daryl, he's like, "Oh, this fight's over," and Daryl would be like, "What do you mean?" And next thing you know, the fight would be over. So Daryl had to get used to like what punches my coach knows or kicks that stop a fight, and. So it's just funny watching Daryl get used to that now and understanding that that's the way that the fights are going to go. And not every fight, again, what we're preparing for now is as you continue to climb the charts, as you continue to fight better competition, those fights aren't going to go as that fast. So we're going to get those 3 rounds, 5-minute, 15-minute rounds. We're going to get those championship fights where it goes 25 minutes. And the difference that I want it to be is that I want to be able to keep the same volume I have in the first and the fifth. And I think that's something in the heavyweight division that we as fans, before we're even fighters or athletes, as fans, what got us into this thing, we don't get to see that in the heavyweight division. You see guys start slugging it out, and usually by the second round, you're like, man, this is boring as hell.
Yeah, heavyweight fights can be boring.
Yeah. And it's very sloppy. Very rarely do you watch a heavyweight where you're like, wow, that guy is super technical. His kickboxing, his boxing looked amazing. More so than likely, you're usually talking in a heavyweight division. You're like, man, that guy can throw a hell of a punch. Well, let me tell you something. At 265, everybody can hit hard. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, what separates you from that? What separates you? What makes you different than the other 265-pound guy throwing a punch right back at you? You look at guys like a big example of what I'm talking about this last fight. obviously this is boxing, not MMA, but look at Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Look at the difference in just technique. You know, obviously you have a guy who knows he can hit really hard, and that's what he's going to try to do, hit really hard. And then you have a guy who's like, hey, listen, I'm going to hit you with 1,000 jabs, and then I'm going to hit you with a jab cross that's going to hurt like hell because 1,000 jabs already broke down your defense.
That's
so
true.
When you think about that, you think about that, you talk about like how fights are won. That's how fights are won. You make contact with the other guy, whether it's a pitter patter, whether it's a jab. It doesn't always have to be that I have to hit this guy with everything that I have in my soul, you know?
Hey, so what's the big difference to you when you between the bare knuckle fighting and the MMA?
Oh, good question.
I mean,
Because in the bare knuckle, is there any MMA bare knuckle right now, or is it just stand up?
No, just all it's all stand up. I mean, obviously, aside from not throwing kicks and being taken down, the difference being, I mean, nothing really. I mean, shit, like you're hitting with 4-ounce gloves and I'm hitting you without 4-ounce gloves. It's the same thing. They, you know, I feel like or getting hit. It hurts the same way. It's all the same thing in there. It's not very much of a different thing, you know.
What do you think about the bare knuckle, Archie?
Yeah, well, you know, as far as the bare knuckle, there's a few guys here in our area that have fought in the bare knuckle. One guy in particular from Bakersfield, JC Yamas. So we got to follow a few guys in our local area, you know, on the bare knuckle fighting sport. As a matter of fact, our good old San Jose local legend, Shamrock, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go. I was going to wait for some reaction there. Frank Shamrock. Yeah.
Good old
Shamrock,
Frankie.
man, right there, man.
He started.
Definitely.
Did he start a bare knuckle fighting organization?
I think he has like a Shamrock FC or something like that.
Does he?
He does,
it's a organization.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
he's crazy, man.
He's had a couple of events, and so we follow it. I guess I follow it. Tom follows it a little bit here, there too. So
it's really good, man. The money, the marketing, the way that they treat you is it's all pretty crazy. Yeah, I loved it. My first bare knuckle experience, I told Daryl, like I was extremely worried about it. I wasn't sure how it was going to happen, but it was literally one of the best experiences of my life. One of the best I've ever been treated as a fighter. One of the whole organization, the whole company. Yeah, everything about it was amazing.
Now, what about the way they do wrap your hands in some sort of way, don't they? Or is it just the wrist?
Yeah, so your hands are wrapped from like here and down. It's just here and down. So literally your wrist bone and down. That's it. Everything else is exposed. You can have tape on your wrist. You can have tape on the back of your wrist. That's it. Like nothing higher than your wrist bone. And your little gloves are literally protecting. Absolutely. I mean, whether you wore the gloves or didn't, it would be the same. It's not a difference. And
how did your hands come out, like wear and tear after the fight?
I'm good, man. You know, I'm a pretty gritty dude. So I think I had dislocated my pinky finger on my left hand, and that was it. My knuckles were fine, man. My knuckles were fine. Like I think the fight's on Daryl's page. Daryl has the fight up.
That's good for it.
The fight was pretty good. Yeah, I think an uppercut to his forehead is what dislocated my pinky. But other than that, man, it was good, man. It's fun, man. Fighting is what I do. I love fighting, man. So for me, like the worrisome of being hurt or the worry of getting injured, like those things don't really play a big factor in what I'm doing.
Yeah, of course.
It's just part, it's just part of the game. It's part of the game. Everything's gonna hurt the next day anyways, whether you get hurt or not. It's just part of the game. You wake up the next day. I put it like this: when you win, shit doesn't hurt that bad. When you lose, everything hurts 25 times worse.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Then there's like a little feeling inside and everything goes along with it.
Because you're feeling. Yeah, there's like a whole theory on it, man. That they say like if you win a fight, how your body and your endorphins react, as opposed to if you lose a fight.
Hey, Dream Killer, I have a question for you, man. About we're here in California, you're out there in Chicago, and we all have our strengths, communities do, and weaknesses. But in regards to gyms where you're at, what are some of the gyms that are still going strong and still surviving that about there? And then the youth, how's the youth how's the youth out there? Is there a lot of youth out there doing MMA? And what's going on there with the MMA scene? Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So there's not that many gyms. that are still rocking pretty strong, out here right now. Everything just reopened as of this Friday, but I feel like they're still kind of slow playing a lot of the MMA gyms, or because there's so much the 6 feet rule, so people aren't really doing too much sparring in gym. Our gym, just happens to be like Rhino's gym, which is one of the gyms that they have out here that we train at. Thank God my coach, they were pretty cool, but we had to keep specific rules, about how many people we could have or the distance that people were going to be from each other and stuff like that. And we just recently started doing some light sparring, but we have to have masks on, and with the mouth, it's impossible. It makes it for an absolute nightmare. And the youth, as far as MMA youth, man, there's not that much out here, man, because because I feel like it's not a big thing out here in the Midwest. MMA is not a huge thing for to where parents are like, hey, I got to get my kid in MMA. Usually out here in the Midwest, it's like, I got to get my kid into wrestling. I got to get my kid into karate. It's very rare that you go and you have MMA youth classes and things like that,
What about jiu-jitsu over there? Is there a big jiu-jitsu scene? Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
So jiu-jitsu is definitely huge out here. Jiu-jitsu is something that's definitely huge. But again, it's one of those things where there's a bracket of it, because there's so many other things that people want to do. Usually jiu-jitsu schools out here, they're not producing fighters. Jiu-jitsu schools out here are just producing jiu-jitsu contests, guys trying to get their black belts, things like that. That's all that's really doing.
Out here in California, it seems that a lot of Brazilians settled in Northern California, Southern California, and then a lot of Brazilians kind of brought their influence to Central California, where we're from, and how much of were there any migration of Brazilians, black belts from back from the homeland, right, from Brazil, that opened up any gyms there, or what's the scene like in that respect?
Not many, man. Not very many at all. It's it's one of those things where it's not that many people. There's a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools out here. Obviously, I feel like there's a lot of Brazilian schools everywhere, but usually it's like a descendant, or you know how that goes. You know how that all plays out usually.
Yeah. So what's the closest place to you guys that you would say there's a Brazilian influence? I know New York, there's some Gracie family members out there, but between you guys, Chicago and New York, man, how far is that?
A flight.
Yeah, how long?
Like an hour and 45, man. But if you're driving there, I think New York's I think it's like 14 hours, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So is there any, jiu-jitsu sphere of influence anywhere? What's the closest, I guess, to you guys?
Closest, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu schools. When you say influence, sure. If you're talking about high-level Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools, then no, not really. There's not very many high-level, but obviously every school has its own perk. Every school has its own style. A certain type of, that they train. So when you think about it, Team Top Notch, which is down. Team Top Notch has a mate. Ricardo Lamas trains down there. It's Coach Mac down there. So they teach a really aggressive style jiu-jitsu, where we get a lot of jiu-jitsu influence from, where a lot of UFC fighters that have been based out here, Orlovsky, even at one point in time, Tim Sylvia was down there. You got a lot of guys that come and train down there for their aggressive style jiu-jitsu. So, if you had to ask me, I would say that would be it. But other than that, like I said, there's a lot of schools, and if I'm missing anybody's school, I apologize, but that would be the school that I was going to go to, that I would say.
So what's next for you, my brother? What plans you got going on?
Just keep training, man. I'm just going to keep training, getting ready for this, hopefully the September fight is what's going on and what's happening, and then the bare knuckle one after that in September or October, and from there, man, we're just going to try to keep rolling, keep it going.
Would you go into the UFC or Bellator if you had a chance for that?
I fought in Bellator. We had a couple opportunities. We're just kind of we're just chilling, man. Honestly, we're just waiting for our time, man. I don't push anything in life. If it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen. And the reason that thing's gonna happen is because it's supposed to. So whatever it may be, whether the 3 letters on my glove do not matter what they are, to be honest with you. As long as we're taking care of business, we're training right, we're fighting, we're doing what we need to do, taking care of business. Whether the gloves say UFC, they say Bellator, they say Titan, or they say Joe's fucking barnyard, I could care less.
Those crab shit.
You know, I don't fight. I never got into this to fight for it to have to be in the UFC or for it to have to be a certain way or form. You know, I got into this sport because I loved it and it's something that I love to do. And I feel like it's something that, you know, I've grown to kind of, you know, per se, I've just learned to love it. I respect the sport too much to have to put a price tag on it. I'll put it to you like that. And I feel like a lot of guys sell out because they feel like they have to have the UFC or Bellator thing on their gloves in order for them to be successful. But it's not the case at all. You can be very successful without those 3 letters. But don't get me wrong, if those 3 letters come and it happens to be what we're going after, then hey, I'm with it, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, we have a surprise guest again. Here we go. I don't know if you can tell, but Daryl's back.
I don't know what happened, guys. My phone just I said, I don't know what happened. I just got dropped and it was a hard time for me to get back on. It wasn't letting me on for some reason. I think my internet had kind of slowed up for a minute.
Yeah, no,
Until it finally let me on.
You're good.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll get you guys on another time too, man. If we can get you guys on again in the future.
Yeah.
Today, the way everything worked out this week has been kind of a crazy week over here for us. As I'm sure it is for you guys too over there. You know, with all this crap going on right now. How is it over there, anyways, right now with the coronavirus? Is it pretty nutty or what? Has life changed for you guys?
Not where I'm at. I don't see it. I don't see anything going on. Where I'm at.
We're affected, I guess, in some way, right? Because the gyms are closing. How about your stores? I mean,
that's the problem. That's the only problem that you guys
really man. Change the way you do everything out here. Change the way you eat. Change the way you go to the store. Change the way you walk outside. Man. Change the way you do everything, man. You know, the gym's closing down for 3 or 4 months. You know, having to go back outside. You know, I've seen people now that I haven't seen and that I never even knew existed because they just had to walk outside now. You know, so. It's a whole different ballgame.
So when it comes to going out to eat, can you guys eat inside of a restaurant? Or you have to take it to go or delivery.
Man, Uber Eats.
Now you can eat on the
Uber Eats.
Open up out deck patios. Yeah, but
outside.
You know, so you can eat on the deck patio. That's about
they
it.
open some places up. You know.
Hey, is Uber Eats big over there?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much.
Is it?
Pretty much.
Those people, they're making bank. I see it. I work at Costco on wholesale on the side. Do they have a Costco over there?
Yeah, we have tons of Costco's over here.
Okay, yeah, I figured there was, but yeah, I see those dudes, man. They're that's a big deal over here now. The Uber Eat.
Yeah,
hey,
it's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be big anyway.
Oh yeah, we like to talk about food a little bit when we're on here, man. Because when I was in Chicago, man, the food was off the hook. Me and my brother, we were just there for maybe like a week. But from sandwiches to pasta places, and of course the pizza was real good over there. But do you guys, if you had a choice, would you go for like a Chicago deep dish or would you go for like a thin slice?
All while I was in Florida, I was missing it, man. They don't have the food out there like they have here in Chicago.
Man. I gotta get that deep dish pizza.
Right.
Hey, what is there like a specific place that you would go to all the time for that deep dish or what?
Chicago's pizza.
Chicago. I like Geno's. Okay. I like Geno's from way back. And Giordano's, yeah.
Yeah, that's so sick. So no thin slice.
No, I don't eat that thin shit, man. I'm too big for that.
The hell with that.
Hey, now what about
I do sometimes when I don't want to pig out like that. You know what I mean?
You go for the thin slice.
That stuff will kill you sometimes.
Archie, have you been over there?
I haven't, man. That's one place, bucket list, right?
Dude, that
oh man, the best food is here in Chicago. I'm telling you,
it's real good, man.
I've been everywhere.
Oh man, and they had some sandwich places too that were really off the charts, man. Just like a good sandwich, kind of a different way they make the sandwich over there. But what about like when it comes with Oriental food? Do you guys mess with like Thai food or Japanese or Chinese? What would you go for?
No, not too much, man. I'm on a pretty clean diet now, man. So I'm not really eating much of that stuff. So even talking about this shit is making me hungry. But
right.
Hey, but what do you eat? Bro, what do you mess with when you're getting ready for a fight? Because for a heavyweight, Lorenzo, you're a pretty in shape looking dude. When I watch your fights, like you're not a big fat dude or nothing like that. For a heavyweight, you're muscular. what do you eat? What's a big part of your diet on the
Um,
normal? On the normal. Say you're in a 3-month camp. What would you be eating
okay.
at that time?
3-month camp. The normal things for me would be you know, it's funny. I eat a lot of pasta, man. I eat a lot of pasta when I'm training. I feel like that's something that gives me energy.
Straight energy.
Aside from the pasta, yeah, I get a lot of pasta. A lot of greens. I eat tons of salad, like a damn gorilla. I eat lettuce, salads, broccolis, celery. I'm always eating greens of some way, shape, or form. What else you got? Um, let's see. What else do I eat normally on the normal?
So what
PB
don't
and
you
J.
eat too much of? What don't you like? Let's say what don't you? Yeah, what are the bad foods you stay away from that you would like to say?
Oh man, I stay away from any like McDonald's or Wendy's or anything like that. I don't really eat any fast foods. I stay away from like tons of sugars. I'm not really a big sugar eater. Like um, I'll have some cereal, I guess would be my sugar. And I use all natural jellies. I use all natural peanut butter. So a lot of my diet is pretty simple. I keep it pretty. I don't really eat fish. So I have to find a way to get it from other places. Whether protein, rice, beans, things like that.
The omega-3s.
And
Yeah.
Daryl, what about you, man? When you head over there and you find yourself in Florida, how does the diet change? Like from what's the difference from Chicago and Florida with the eating?
Man. So when I got from Florida to Chicago, I think I had to put on like 30 pounds. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, the food
Yeah, I don't know.
is better. Even the seafood better.
There's no diet for Daryl. Is that what you're gonna say there?
Daryl's diet is eat everything that he
No,
sees.
I'm definitely on a diet now because the coronavirus kind of
put a hamper on
a little
things.
bit. So yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
that's why I want to be more regular.
Daryl's having some technical difficulties, huh?
Oh, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Small delay for Daryl.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Hey.
But yeah, I got to get down there to the gym with Lorenzo. So he gonna be sending me in line. I gotta get a little bit back in shape.
Right on, man. Well, guys, we're not gonna keep you guys too long on today because everybody's real busy today. But while you guys are both on, can you give a little shout out, man, to maybe some your friends, family, or sponsors, people that help you?
Yeah.
Somebody that you would like to maybe say a thank you to? Anybody?
Yeah, you want to go first, Lorenzo?
Always, man. Big shout out to my coach Paul Reinhardt, man. I love you, brother. His family, my close family and friends, all those that are close and support me throughout all my training camps, and everybody that's there with me. Big shout out to Daryl for obviously busting his ass and making sure that we're always staying busy and getting us on radio shows, podcast interviews, so people always during these times when people are forgetting about combat sports, it's easy to be forgotten.
Amen to that,
to
brother.
get your name, to get your face out there. Thank you guys for having us out here. Thank you guys for keeping going during these hard times as well. And obviously everything's important, so we just gotta stay loyal to who you are, stay strong, and keep working out, man.
And I just want to
having me out here.
Yeah, I want to interrupt, and then you can keep going because what you just said earlier is, and Daryl, this is a tribute to you also, Daryl, is what we're trying to do here, Tom and I, is to keep the enthusiasm, the sport alive, and by talking to athletes and spreading the good word, and just talking about historical messages as well. But by you guys still joining us and keeping the message alive, this is a great thing, so we appreciate you guys also, right?
Most definitely, man. Hey, man, tell Shoney Carter that Tom Owens said hi if you guys see Shoney.
Daryl, do you have any way you
want to hold Shoney Carter and get him on here one of these days, Archie?
Oh yeah, he'll love that. Get him on here.
Daryl, you got any shout outs? Okay.
Yeah, Daryl, give us some shout outs, bud.
Oh yeah. I want to shout out to
we lost
a few of my guys, that got fights coming up.
We lost
shout Lorenzo. Out to John Birdsong, who we thought was going to be on, but had technical difficulties there. He has a fight coming up at Titan FC. I want to give a shout out also to Mr. Bobby Brents, who is the bare knuckle champion for Z Promotion. He has a title defense coming up soon. Give a shout out to Mr. Leo Plaw. He also got a fight coming up, bare knuckle, BYB. You're gonna do business, and I could be all day. I want to get a shout out to all my guys at
Yeah.
MOC, and if you guys are listening in Florida, I'm looking for some amateurs. I'm the team captain for Rise FC, Jacksonville Fight Club. If you're a good fighter, hit me up. You can hit me up on Facebook, Daryl Lashawn Hatchett, or you can email me, Daryl Hatchett2 at gmail.com.
There you have it, guys. There's a lot of guys out there that want to give it a shot. Whether they're going to make it a long deal or they just want to try it. But Daryl's a cool guy. You guys reach out to Daryl if you're in the area. You can go in there and see what it's all about. Archie, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, we can talk about the sponsors, but before we, do that, I just want to continue to say a thank you to Lorenzo Hood, the Dream Killer. Even though this is not an accurate record, this is not some accurate information, but this is him, right? We got a good shot of him here, and we just want to say thank you, to him, Lorenzo, to Daryl. Birdsong was not able to get on with us, but it's okay. We'll get you guys
next time.
Yeah, we'll get them next time. These are some, trying times for everybody, and we're just excited that we're able to have some good people like Daryl, Lorenzo, John, and everyone from all over the world that joins us. So these are some exciting times, even though we are in some trying times.
Most definitely. Well, man, John Birdsong, man, we'll get you on another time. John, we'll get you back on here with Daryl. Now that we got a little time with you, Daryl, we consider you a brother with us now, and you're a friend of ours now. So hopefully we can all come on here and get on here again.
MMA brother.
It seems like with this new virtual technology that we're using, the connection is different day by day, right, Archie?
Yeah. Mostly it's a hit, and then when it's a miss, it's about a 75% hit, but it's always good to have 100% connection. But we keep doing our best.
Yep, that's right. Well, man, dude, it was good talking.
I forgot to how could I forget? The juggernaut, Lorenzo Hunt. We looking to get him a fight very soon for BKFC. We're just waiting for the right opponent or whatever, but we want to hurry up and get back out there. So,
hey, Daryl, now that you say BKFC, how involved are you? It sounds like if you are pretty involved with bare knuckle fighting, right? You have a few fighters that are doing that.
Oh yeah, I am, and it's by surprise too. Just a lot of my guys like to do bare knuckle, and I happen to have pretty good relations with the promoter, and or if not, they respect for what I do. And they know the fighters that I have, so it's no problem for me getting them on, on the shows or whatever.
Hey, so if we have somebody that wants to do a bare knuckle fight, we can, call you up, and you can get the promoter to hook them up with a fight and perhaps a flight over there to wherever, Florida, maybe.
I can do that, but if I say I have everyone calling me.
Tom right here. He's ready. He's ready for a fight. Bare knuckle fight.
Archie, okay. Archie, you have to drive us over there, bud. And
I'm sure they'll be your way soon.
Along the way, Archie will be stopping at all the different weed stores on the way back to Chicago. Right. Okay, man. Well, damn, dude. It was good talking with you. Daryl. It was nice to meet you.
Too.
Yeah, Daryl, I think we kind of got Lorenzo on a little longer than he was. You had mentioned 30 minutes, and we got him for 45 minutes. I appreciate it. But you kind of skipped out, so Lorenzo kind of
gave me time to get back on.
Yeah,
Lorenzo,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
No, what's next, man? What's next for Daryl Hatchett?
I just keep doing what I do, keep grinding, keep getting my fighters fight, keep creating champions. Keep collecting talent. I'm always looking for talent. So if you're a guy that want to fight and you want your career to go in the direction that you want it to go, contact me. I'm fair. I'm the fairest manager out there.
The fairest manager. Hey, Daryl.
And the busiest.
Hey, what's your telephone? Oh, I got your number, but tell me your telephone number, Daryl, so I can put it on the screen real quick. What's your number?
Oh, 561
Have
five
people
seven four
have people
seven
call
five
you up.
four nine
574 what?
7549. That's my
Seven.
business number.
There you go, guys. You heard it from Daryl. Um, give him a call. He'll hook you up with a fight, bare knuckle fight. Good opportunities out there, right,
Bare
Daryl?
knuckle action.
Yes. If you're good and you have, pretty good record, I could definitely help you out.
Yeah, you're not just looking for any old cat. You're looking for people that actually have a little record and some experience.
Right. I take Amis too. I like working with Amis because, they are future and whatever. And they the ones need more guidance anyway. Um, so
Some of
yeah.
them are good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I got a good knack for finding talent. Most of the guys that with me was with me while they was amateurs as well. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, man, hopefully the scene grows in the right way, and maybe one of these times we'll see each other.
yeah, for sure, definitely. I'll be
Yeah,
out that way.
yeah, Daryl, keep in touch, especially after you guys have your first fight or second fight. Keep in touch after all your fights, and then we can get some interviews with some of your fighters. And as time progresses, hopefully
Yeah.
things will get better, and we'll see you out there in the MMA world.
Sounds like a plan.
Right. And if me and Archie ever make it out there to your neck of the woods, you have to bring us to one of them spots.
Hit me up. Hit me up.
Oh yeah, you know what? We always kind of self-invite ourselves to to everywhere we go and all the people that we talk to. So we're looking to invite ourselves to your gym, to wherever you're at, either Florida. When the opportunity comes, we like to visit you.
Oh yeah.
There you
Looking
go, Tom.
forward.
We got
There
the
it is
invite.
right there. All
We got
right,
the
Daryl.
invite.
Well, Daryl, we'll talk to you next time, my brother. Thank you very much once again, and thank you to John Birdsong for trying to get on next time, John. And then Lorenzo Hood, thank you again too, my brother. And we'll see you guys on the next time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a bunch. Take care there, Mr. Daryl, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Good luck, everybody. Take care.
All right.
Okay. There it is.
All right. We're still live.
We're still live, guys.
The show's over. But Tom, any final words?
Well, we do got to give a shout out to our sponsors, guys. Each time the sponsors are growing and growing, but some of our main sponsors, Rio Acai Bowls, guys. You want to get that acai bowl, and man, I've been trying acai. There it is, a picture of it right there. I've tried acai bowls all around California and at different jiu-jitsu tournaments. Even at my work at Costco, that we're selling some kind of bullshit little acai deal, but it's nothing like the real thing, guys. You can tell acai by the color of that acai in that bowl right there. Just that dark purpley. It's different. It's different than when you get it from like a juice pill or like a Jamba Juice or something like that. There might be a little bit of acai in it, but that's the real thing right there. So yeah, Rio acai bowls right there in Fresno. Go try it out. We got for Mexican food, guys, right there it is. So I wanted to get that picture up. La enchilada. What do you think about La Enchilada, Archie? How about that burrito we had last time?
Yeah, I know that La Enchilada is a great place. They're on Blackstone, and they have some great food. Look at those pictures of some.
Dude, look at that. Go back a second. Go back. Dude, look at that sope. Is that a sope?
Oh, that's what it's called, the sope. Good job.
Good Lord, dude. Look at that. Hey, that's the real thing right there. It's got everything con crema.
Crema, that's the topping.
Right? Hey,
yeah.
there's salsa, guys. They got fire roasted salsa. They got pica de gallo. They got the salsas. They're all real. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Heck yeah.
Guys, we also our other sponsor that we got to give a shout out to. Look at that lineup of beer right there.
You recognize that place, Tom?
Legion's Tap House and Grill in Selma.
There you go.
I do recognize that place. And man, they got look at that burger right there and fries.
That's the burger that Xavier.
Dang, that's the one Xavier tore up?
Yeah, Xavier Ortega can tell us all about that burger later.
Oh, good Lord. He can tell you about it while he's eating it. But yeah, guys, good beer on tap, good people, friendly service, pretty waitresses, cool staff. Yeah, real good spot to go right there. Real good spot to go. Hopefully soon sooner than later, this coronavirus will calm down and we'll be able to go back in there and have another podcast up in there. Right, Archie?
Yeah, they were a great support for, and all these sponsors that we're putting on the screen are great supporters for MMA. Legion's Jason there at Legion's Tap House and Grill. Jason was so much hospitality, man. We were going into the rooms, into their conference rooms, and having these podcasts. We would, use their AC, their internet, and their lighting. And, in exchange for, we would go out and send people to them, right? I mean, give them this particular shout outs, right?
Yes. I can't wait till we can get back into the room. I can't wait to do a face-to-face interview again with people.
Oh my gosh!
Although I love this, I hope we keep doing this too at the same time. I hope we continue to do these. I do like these, and man, we're just reaching out to people all over. Guys, that last episode, reaching out to our friend Paula, right? Paula Sapaswar, probably saying that wrong.
From India.
From India. Hey, man. It was tough to understand. Probably a lot of people didn't even listen to the whole thing. But the main reason I wanted to do that podcast with that guy was for him and his people over there. You know what I mean? He got a lot of response from his mom. He told me his mom was hella excited after she saw that.
Oh man!
You know what I mean? She was super excited. His friends, it brought a lot of joy to that guy. Anyhow, and he got a pretty good amount of views in a short time. So. Plus, I made a few friends off of that too. Off doing that, I've already had quite a few different guys hit me up from over there, and they're nice people, man.
I think the next show or next week or the following week, we're working with a new guest from India. This guest, he's a promoter, big promoter. So thanks to Paul Lee, because of him, we're getting exposure out there in India. So
was it Paul Lee or Paul? It's Paul Lee.
Yeah, Paul Lee. Yes. But I may be butchering the name, like you say. But
I know the fucking name up, dude.
This is opening some doors for all of us, and we get to meet people outside of our circle, obviously, right? And so this next guest, he has connections with One Fighting Championships out of Japan, and he's a big promoter out of India as well. Next week, coming up stuff, and then of course we have our California guests and our United States guests, and but we're going worldwide now, right?
Going worldwide. I want to keep it going too, guys. If you got anybody out there from a different part of the world, or anybody, in fact, in the United States, even hit us up, man. Somebody with, like I said, like I always say, somebody with a good martial art background, or maybe somebody with the promotion, or somebody that's a manager, or you're a fighter. If you got a good story to tell or something to say, hit up myself or Archie Tovar, and we'll get you on the show, and we'll, you know what I mean? We'll have a little conversation.
Absolutely, Tom. Thank you. And great stuff. Looking forward to the next one, and talking to a lot of great people, and getting our brethren list growing.
Dude, yeah, the brethren list is growing. And man, guys, if you want to watch a good episode, if you're just bored, maybe you're doing a little workout or you're going out for a run, one that's good is the Kung Lee episode that we just had recently. That one's getting a lot of hits, and man, I was going back and listening to that, dude. Homeboy tells some good stories.
There's a lot of great insight
there. Yeah, he had some good stuff to say.
Yeah, amazing gentlemen. Yeah. Everyone has their own amazing stories, right? But there's certain stories that resonate, right? There's just a different level of resonation.
Yeah, not everybody works from their childhood up the same ladder. You know what I mean? To get where they are today.
Yep.
But, yeah. Now we got the homies in Chicago.
That's it. We got some new brothers, Tom.
All right, people. Well, guys, we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully 2 p.m. Sometimes things change a little bit. Today we're going a little bit later.
Time zones, right, Tom? We got to get time zone thing.
Different time zones. Like with me and Archie, even though this is episode 92, I still feel like we're super new to doing this whole thing. You know what I mean? It still feels like a new thing. Just getting I know we're both starting to get a little more comfortable talking to in front of a camera with who knows how many people will watch this later. You just never know, or how many are watching at the time. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. I enjoy doing it, and I thank everybody out there that watches the show and passes it on, and gives us a like and passes it on. It really means a lot to me and Archie.
Yep. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like Facebook page.
There it is.
There it
All
is.
right, guys. Well, we will see you this next week, and don't forget, episode 100 is quickly
Coming up.
approaching.
Quickly approaching, Tom.
Yes, and we're hoping on episode 100 to have multiple guests, but some special guests on that day. There'll probably be a longer show, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that one.
You got it. We're gonna get some streamers going.
Yes, we're definitely gonna have some local dudes that are making it big and coming up, and hopefully we'll have some out of towners and maybe some. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a show. What's up, brother?
By the way, this particular program, we can have up to 10 screens now. They upgraded the capacity; it's no longer 6, so we can have so it'll be perfect for our 100th show. We can have up to, we just mix it up with 10 people at one time, man. We should try that.
I think we should. What I was thinking, man, on that 100 shows that we, even if they're some of our best guests we've had since we started, maybe we mix them up and throughout like 2 hours, maybe like a 2-hour show. We'll just we need to sit down and we'll talk about this and take notes and plan this one out good.
Oh yeah, the way it's done is just like a seminar. We'll schedule them, right? And then we'll schedule them, and then I will bring them one after another, and hopefully we can keep quite a few of them on with us so that they can just hang out.
And some of them will test, and it might work, and some of it might not. But with all the list that we have of people, I think it'll be cool, man. And then certain times we have multiple guys on there. You know what I mean?
Let's plan it. All right, guys. Hey, how about an uppercut? Bam! There it is.
Cross elbow.
Ooh, with the elbow.
And a hammer fist.
Oh, don't forget the hammer fist.
Hammer fist. All right, guys. We love everybody out there. Peace. Everybody help one another and love one another, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Got it. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.